Now, deep snow and frigid temperatures over the past several weeks are having a big impact on Montana's wildlife.
Yeah, this week in Fish and Wildlife, we take a look at how we can help make life a little less stressful for our wildlife population.
This week in Fish and Wildlife, sponsored by your local Montana Toyota dealers.
Thursday morning time once again for This Week in Fish and Wildlife. We're on the road this morning. We're at Region 3 headquarters. Joining us this morning, Howard Burt. Howard, it's been a long winter for all of us, but maybe not nearly as bad as it has been for some of the wildlife out there. Let's talk about what they're dealing with while we're inside here where it's nice and warm. It's been pretty tough out there for them.
It has. Our only saving grace has been that really we've had about 3-4 weeks of winter. If this would have started months ago, we probably would have been seeing more winter die off of wildlife. So, right now, yes, conditions are tough. Deep snow, cold weather. Hopefully that's going to be breaking here fairly shortly. This is the time where, towards the end of the winter period, animals are relying on their winter fat reserves, so they're really not gaining anything. They're obviously just surviving. And so at this period, March, April is typically when we start to see die off. And because of their reserves have gone down. And so this is tough on them. I mean, it varies across the region, but there are some concerns there from that standpoint. But again, they went into winter in good condition. We haven't seen any real major die-offs yet. So, keep our fingers crossed.
You and I were talking about something that starts to happen this time of year too, is folks going out looking for those shed horns and that fantastic opportunity to get out and enjoy the wild and that. But let's think about those animals while we're doing it, I would think. Yeah,
that was one thing we would like to ask is, anytime there's disturbance of these animals, they have to use energy to move and those type of things. And that can be critical at this time of year. I mean, they don't have a lot of energy reserves left. So, just be smart about it, be careful, don't be bumping animals around and those type of things is really what we'd ask. And, our wildlife management areas don't open until May 15th. So, and that's specifically because of the end of the winter type period where those animals are bunched up and we want to keep them there without a lot of disturbance.
Do we have an idea of how the animals are doing? I mean, I know you mentioned early on, because this happened later in the season and all of that, but it was pretty severe. Do we know how we're doing for the most part? I mean, I know the biologists are out there running their studies right now.
Yeah, we're in the process of doing elk and deer surveys right now, aerial surveys. We don't have the data or all the information back yet, but, talking to the folks, they're not seeing die-offs. Animals are... It's tough conditions, but most of the information I've got is in most areas, the animals went in good condition. They're still surviving. So, we'll know better a little later on in the spring here when that's like I said, that's typically when we start to see those die-offs if we have any.
So let's just give them a break then.
Yep, that would be the best. So, yeah.
That's perfect.
Exactly.
Again, Howard Burt joining us this morning, and that's This Week in Fish and Wildlife.
This Week in Fish and Wildlife was sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.